Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about 3 things that I think would improve the quality of life of every player. And I'm also going to add in a couple things at the end that are maybe more like personal preference wish list type things. The second thing I'm going to talk about, I see no reason why that shouldn't be added. The first one, I already know what their excuse for not adding that is going to be. Actually, the first and third, they're going to say matchmaking times. But the thing about that is that they don't seem to understand. This goes back to the most simple economic principle ever, supply and demand. If you give people something that's okay, they'll want it, sure. If you give them something that's better, they'll want it more. In other words, they're so worried about matchmaking times, so they keep trying to funnel more and more people into the same matchmaking queue, right? But if you gave us all the things that we're asking for, yes, it would split the player base, but the player base would grow because the product would be better. And I could say, let's add this to fix the game 1.91 like we've all seen everywhere, or 1.93 now that 1.91 is right around the corner. But I mean, let's be honest, I could say let's add this to 3.91 and none of it will probably ever get added. But anyways, I'm going to list them. These are things that I don't really hear other people mentioning. I mean, usually what people want to talk about is balance, power creep, things like that. These things are a little bit different, and these things are really, really simple things. They could be implemented so easily to improve the quality of life of every single player in War Thunder, unless you're one of the assholes that like to cheat, okay? And I don't mean cheat by third-party cheats. I mean exploit loopholes, basically, in the game, okay? Number 1, shitcan 86 ULQ. There's a reason why I don't play realistic battles, and it's because I do not enjoy serving myself up as a free kill for someone that has a computer that is probably better than mine, but for some reason likes to play like they're on fucking Atari. If you can see me through a forest from 3 miles away and I can't see 10 foot in front of me, that's bullshit. And I love it. They always try to make the excuse, oh, well, what's a trade-off? I can't see your tracks where you drove through on the ground. Oh, really? So that's the trade-off? That makes it even? Are you shitting me, bro? Come on. This is ridiculous. And, it's really hard for me to take any of these calls for balance seriously while we have people abusing ULQ the way they are right now. I mean, most of us are running around like this. While some people are running around like that double douche canoe Homelander with their x-ray vision, watching that old chick fill up her milk jugs with her milk jugs. And if you don't want to shit can the ULQ, because I understand some people don't have good systems, you know what I mean? I understand that. All right, so you put a piece of gatekeeper code in. Anyone that has their settings set for ULQ plays other people that have their settings set for ULQ. When you put ULQ into your settings, you have to restart the system. So there's no way to cheat it. You know what I mean? You can't start out a battle with regular settings, high quality settings, and then switch them to ULQ. This is a very simple fix, and I don't understand why it hasn't been done yet for something that drastically tips the scales for the people that are using ULQ against those that aren't. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, spawn campers in Air Arcade. I was on War Thunder Live the other day, and I saw some asshat had a video up there where him and his buddy did 30 enemy kills. 30 kills. Spawn camping. And they had hashtag spawn camping, hashtag erect. They were proud of the fact that they were spawn killing people. Dude, that's not something to be proud of. That's something you should be absolutely ashamed of. You should get dragged out into the town square and flogged for spawn camping. That's the grubbiest damn thing you can possibly do in an air battle. So how do we fix it? How do we stop it from occurring? Well, the same way that we do it in ground battles. I'm even more okay with spawn camping in ground battles than I am in air battles, because in ground battles, you're only fighting on one level. Do you know what I mean? You can't dig a tunnel with your tank and pop out behind the enemy, and you can't hook rockets to your tank and fly over top of the enemy. You have to fight through them to get to their spawn usually, unless you do an end around by yourself. But normally you have to fight through them, so you kill them all once at least to get to their spawn. That's better than flying around everyone or over top of them, getting to their spawn, circling 1,000 to 2,000 feet above their spawn, waiting for them to spawn in, and then diving on them and killing them. That's grubby, dude. What you need to do is the same principle that you use in ground battles, okay? A spawn exclusion zone. Make a 3D sphere, a bubble around spawn that if the enemy flies into, their plane or aircraft immediately self-destructs. They don't even get 25 seconds, all right? Because everyone's going to know what the distance is, whether it's 2 miles, 3 miles, 1 mile, whatever the distance is. We'll know ahead of time. Have a warning that pops up when you're getting close to it. Now, sometimes a bomber or an attacker needs to attack the airfield. So what you do in that case, after your 3 bases are destroyed, you lose your spawn exclusion zone. After that, spawn camping's fair game, because at that point you're pushed back to that in a sense. Something like that. I don't know completely, but something needs to be done about it. And I don't understand why we have a spawn camping exclusion zone or whatever you want to call it in ground forces, but we don't have one in air. Also, the same way that in ground forces, when you're spawn camping and an enemy spawns in, you'll notice that you shoot at them, nothing happens. You shoot at them, nothing happens. There's a period of time after they spawn in where their vehicle is invulnerable to damage. Same thing for airplanes. Do the same thing. Okay, numero 3, decompress. We all remember about a month ago, the Tiger H1 was at 5.7, just like the Tiger E. It was changed to 5.3. Why? Because the Tiger E has a 7.92 MG34 for anti-air defense on top of the turret. Not a 50 cal, not a 20 mil, a 7.92. Okay? And that's basically it. The only other difference is 3 degrees of turret rotation a second and 80 horsepower. How effective is that? Yeah, that's worth 0.4 of a BR. And then move on down the line a little bit. Same tree. We got the Leo 2A4 and then the Leo 2A5. All right. Both sit at 10.0. All right. Now the 2A5 has access to DM23. Apparently that's worth nothing. Okay. Not to mention the fact that the 2A5 has the ridiculous turret armor on the front. Apparently that is worth 0 BR. But remember, a 7.92 MG34 is worth 0.4 BR, all right? Same tank, same tank, same tank, same tank. 0.4, 0. Explain that. There is no logical explanation for it. I know that 10.0 is a nice round number, and I'm sure someone has some serious OCD and just wants to keep us at 10.0, but it can't stay that way forever. You got to move it. It's time. Let's go. I mean, it's ridiculous that I'm even using this example because we all know how ridiculous it is. You know, I'm just trying to illustrate how ridiculous it is. I don't even know what else to say about this. It's ridiculous that we're still talking about decompression at this point. That needs to happen. Hey guys, I'm going to kind of cut in here. This is something I recorded afterwards because the Q&A came out where they discussed BR decompression. And if you'd like to see my reaction to that, check out my next video, reaction to the Q&A, because I go into a lot more detail about this in there. Okay, number 4, and this one's kind of more of a personal preference thing for me than the other ones are major issues. This is kind of just a wish list for me. Naval battles. I figured out during the event I actually enjoy playing naval battles now that I'm up into like the Sumner and things like that. What I did not enjoy was watching my Silver Lions never change for the course of 10 naval battles. Oh, you got 3-4 kills? Guess what? You get 1,000 Silver Lions for that because you lost the Sumner. And the Sumner, the repair cost in arcade is only $5,000 or something like that. It's not ridiculous. The problem is the rewards in naval battles are ridiculous. How many rounds does it take to kill a tank? 1, maybe 2? How many rounds does it take to kill a destroyer? 20? 30? The rewards should really be upped for naval battles. I mean, this is one of the reasons why naval is so slow. Like, check this out right here. This is the, end rewards screen for the battle you're watching right now. Okay, I killed 1 air target, 8 naval targets, 3 enemy kill assists, 1 zone captured, and 16,000 in damage to naval targets. And I have a premium account, and I got 27,000 silver lions. If this was a ground forces battle, I would have got 50, 60 grand. It takes so much more energy to kill a ship, yet the rewards are cut in half. That needs to be tweaked a little bit. The other thing for naval, I would like to see the aiming mechanism from realistic, where you slide the mouse wheel up and down to change your range. I'd like to see that brought into arcade. I'm sure the arcade players can handle it. It's not that complicated. It's a hell of a lot better than aiming at something 3 miles away, but having to move your cursor down about 10 feet away from your own ship into the sea in order to hit it, because you're shooting a mile over top of it. And yes, I know you can push X+1, X+2, X+3, all that. But regardless, it's still 10 times easier using the aiming system out of realistic than arcade. I really don't see why we don't just have the same aiming system for both game modes. But like I said in the beginning, the last two, the things for naval, that's just more like a personal wish list type thing. The other 3 things, like I said in the beginning also, I don't see any negative impact by adding them. I only see positives. The only negative that you could possibly try to come up with from this would be the matchmaking times will go up. That's what they'll say. But like I said in the beginning, if you give people more of what they want, I don't think they will go up. I think you'll get more players playing the game. And I'm not saying just the 3 things that I mentioned. I'm talking if you did everything that the player base is asking for. You would see more people playing, matchmaking times would go down instead of forcing, what could be 3 different battles into one battle. Everyone would have the battle that they want. And I'll admit this right now, I'm a very impatient person. And anyone that knows me would say that's probably the understatement of the year. But honestly, I would be willing to wait a couple minutes longer to have a better experience in the battle. Okay, though, guys, I'm going to end here because I could just ramble on about this forever. And on top of that, like I said earlier, the Q&A came out, so I talked about a lot of this in a lot more detail in that video. So if you want to check that out, you can check that out. That'll be coming out in the next day or 2. If you like anything that I said in this video, if any of it makes sense to you, hit the like and subscribe button for me. Maybe share this video around. Who knows? Maybe if it gets shared around enough, maybe someday in the next decade or so, maybe some of this would get added to the game. I don't know. But anyways, I'm out of here. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope to see you next time.